Russia rejects peace agreement, insisting its war in Ukraine will rage on, for the foreseeable future.
Here's a summary of the article.
Moscow has no interest in any proposed deal to end the war in Ukraine, a Kremlin spokesperson told The New York Times in an interview published Sunday. The admission, which was promoted by Russian state media, comes amid claims by some American politicians that the United States could broker an agreement by withholding arms and urging Ukraine to make territorial concessions. The rejection of a peace deal comes as critics of U.S. military aid to Kyiv, including former President Donald Trump, have insisted that such an agreement could be quickly reached, especially if Ukraine were pressured to make concessions. There, Ukraine pitched a 10-point peace plan that calls for the withdrawal of all Russian forces from its territory. Russia has flatly rejected calls for it to leave Ukraine. Last September, he also announced the illegal annexation of 4 regions in eastern Ukraine, stating that their residents will become Russian citizens forever, a claim made despite the fact that Russia does not control large swaths of the territory in question. Speaking to The Times, Peskov claimed that Russia has no intention of trying to annex all of the country.
This post received a score of 6,800, with an upvote ratio of 95%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Putin's continued survival is directly linked with this war raging on for as long as possible. As long as the occupation is still going on with some semblance of war, he is relatively secure as the head of the mafia state. The second the war crumbles, so will his regime.
On flip side, though, that also means war will continue to rage until Putin's no longer alive or in power. Of course, his successor might continue the war, but a change in regime would give the successor a lot of latitude to blame the war on his predecessor and restart things with a clean slate. So, it gives everyone being hurt by the war an incentive to take Putin out. I am honestly surprised Putin ever wanted to leave his bunker and travel to South Africa for the economic summit.
Right. Hence his long tables. Though I guess he surrounded himself with enough parasitic yes-men that some of them at least probably don't want to see him gone, as they're so useless by themselves that they know they stand no chance of coming out on top or even surviving the power struggle resulting from Putin leaving. And come on, let's be real about SA. He was never going lol.
We just want to control all the land we have now written into the Constitution as ours. El Mao, it's like he's trying to make it sound reasonable. No, we don't want the whole country, just the parts we decided are ours last year. Fucking Peskov.
The whole operation is a land grab. If you watch the Russian citizen interviews, all of them are brainwashed into thinking the US wants their land and resources. In all actuality, they want and need Ukraine land and resources.
So in case anyone thought Putin would compromise, let alone apologize, or even more crazy, atone, for his crimes, this is the reality. He stubbornly remains the worst POS on earth at the moment.
He really needs to die for this nightmare to end. Nothing of value would be lost.
The vast majority of the world would applaud his death.
I would take a day off, get shit-faced drunk and dance on that fucker's grave all night long.
So will some rando in New Jersey. Just realize you won't be alone.
They say love binds us together, but really it's hatred and spite.
Depends. I have room for hate in my heart for Putin after what he's done to Ukraine specifically and their influence on world politics more generally.
Foreseeable future likely means as long as Putin and his cronies are in power. Which is hopefully not very long.
First of all, it means until the next presidential elections in the US. Putin still hopes for his buddy Trump to win and then immediately end all financial and military support for Ukraine.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.